The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised purple of the twilight sky. Locals called it the Whisper House, and for good reason. They said if you stood by its dilapidated fence on a quiet night, you could hear the house whispering secrets, dark tales of the family who had vanished from within its walls a century ago. Of course, I didn't believe in ghosts or whispering houses. I was a journalist, a skeptic, and I was here to debunk the myth for a Halloween special. I pushed open the groaning iron gate, the sound echoing like a scream in the stillness. The front door was unlocked, hanging slightly ajar. A cold draft snaked out, carrying the scent of dust and something else. Something metallic and vaguely sweet, like old pennies and wilted flowers. Stepping inside, my flashlight beam cut through the oppressive darkness, revealing a grand foyer frozen in time. A thick layer of dust coated everything. The grand staircase, the peeling portraits on the wall whose eyes seemed to follow me, and a child's rocking horse, eerily still in the center of the room. That's when I heard it for the first time. A faint whisper like the rustling of dry leaves, but it was coming from inside the walls. It was too faint to make out the words, just a sibilant, hissing sound that slithered around me. I told myself it was just the wind, the old house settling. I set up my camera equipment, determined to capture the haunting on film. I placed a camera in the foyer, another at the top of the stairs, and one in the master bedroom, which was rumored to be the epicenter of the paranormal activity. Hours passed. Nothing happened. I sat in the foyer, monitoring the feeds, feeling a little foolish. The silence was absolute, broken only by my own breathing. I was about to pack it all in, ready to write my scathing article about local superstitions, when a sound came from the monitor connected to the upstairs bedroom. A soft creak. I watched, my heart suddenly pounding. The rocking horse in the foyer began to move, ever so slightly, back and forth, back and forth. Its gentle rhythm was hypnotic, and deeply, deeply wrong. Then, the whispers started again. This time, they were clearer. They weren't coming from the walls anymore. They were coming from all around me. Voices of men, women, and children, all speaking at once, their words overlapping into a cacophony of madness. But I could pick out phrases. He's here. He came inside. He'll never leave. Panic set, in cold and sharp. I scrambled to grab my cameras, my hands fumbling with the tripods. I just wanted to get out. As I turned to run, my flashlight beam swept across the portraits on the wall. I froze. The faces in the paintings had changed. Their painted smiles were gone, replaced by expressions of sheer terror. Their eyes, once staring blankly forward, were now all looking at something behind me. Slowly, I turned my head. The child's rocking horse had stopped, and sitting on it was a small, shadowy figure. It was no bigger than a child, but it was ancient, made of shifting darkness and deep-seated cold. It had no face, just a void where features should have been. It lifted one wispy, smoke-like arm and pointed a long, thin finger directly at me, and then it whispered. Its voice a chilling echo of a child's, yet utterly devoid of life or warmth. "You heard us," it hissed, the sound seeming to come from inside my own head. "Now, you'll stay. You'll stay and whisper with us, forever." I ran. I didn't grab my gear. I didn't even look back. I burst out of the front door and didn't stop running until the town lights were a warm, comforting glow below me. I never went back for my cameras. Sometimes, on quiet nights, I think I can still hear the whispers carried on the wind from that house on the hill. And they're always calling my name. The official story is that I simply lost my equipment. But I know the truth. The Whisper House doesn't just hold secrets, it collects them. And it almost collected me. So if you ever see a house that looks forgotten by time, do yourself a favor and keep walking. Some doors are meant to stay closed. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoy tales that chill you to the bone, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You never know what's lurking in the next video. Stay safe out there.